Hello party people and welcome to my video. I've missed you guys so much. I hope you missed me too. Today we're going to make a really risky video. I am going to teach you on how to get through maths or statistics if you're not a math person, because trust me, I'm the least of a math person that it gets. Literally, you can see my Google search history, my ChatGPT history, but how dare you ask me for my calculator history? Because I was quite good at maths, usually during my school career and probably my university career, but we don't know that so far because I haven't gotten my statistics results back. But literally, the things that I put into my calculator are ridiculous. Like literally, if somebody would see me, they would probably kick me out of the university because you'll see me typing 2 + 2 into the calculator because I'll be worried that it will accidentally turn out that I'll accidentally calculate it wrong and then everyone will think, what the hell? So literally, do not worry, I am the least of math person that it probably gets. And so I am going to teach you my tips and tricks because I always manage to be quite good at maths, even though I'm literally not cognitively destined to be good at maths. So I'll just teach you my tips and tricks that I gathered throughout my maths career or whatever you say. And the first thing that helps me is to make sure to understand the theoretical concept first before you actually start calculating. And with that, I literally don't go into depth. Just make sure to get like a brief outline of some theoretical concepts. Let's say you want to calculate an ANOVA and you never heard of it before, you don't know what it is. And so for me, it is really helpful to, for example, ask ChatGPT for like a brief summary or watch a YouTube video. And please don't go deep because for me, if I go deep, it kind of creates the opposite. I'll just get confused because I don't know how it's used, how it's done, and why am I even watching or reading this, but just getting a brief outline of the mathematical theory and the concept will really help me, because then I actually know what it's for and how it is done. And when I get into calculating, I won't be as confused whether if I'm gonna get straight into calculating without ever hearing of that before, I literally wouldn't know what to do. And any person in this planet won't know what to do. So make sure to get like the rough concept first. And whenever I do that and then go into calculating, I like the calculating kind of deepens the subject because you get like tasks that are more complex, and then you like calculate different things, and then you hear about this and that, and then you can read about it as well, and you can research about it. And so for me, this is like my go-to or what works out best. And also, if you make summaries, oftentimes, obviously, it's always good to have a summary. I literally had ridiculously large statistics summaries, so literally, I'm not even allowed to say anything. Oftentimes, based on my math exams that I took so far at one math exam at school, uni, and multiple ones at school, back then when I used to go, it's literally no one will go into theoretical detail. Obviously, they want to make sure that you know the theory, they want to make sure that you know what this and that means and what it stands for, but often, like all math exams usually focus on the calculating, and that is what your top priority should be. And literally all of my questions are like theoretical math questions that were featured in my statistics exam were really brief. Like they were literally barely scratching on the surface. So literally, if I could give you one advice, then it would be calculate more than you actually try to memorize. Because if you calculate, you'll get way more points because the calculating tasks are usually the ones that give the best points and the best grades. And just focus like roughly on the theory. That would be my advice, but obviously it always depends. I personally listen to what's important to my professor or my teacher and focus on that. But 90% of the times it is better to actually focus on the calculating. Also, what I've seen at uni when it comes to memorizing, to be honest, I don't know anyone personally who does it, but I heard from people who actively do it. Like, these are, wait, I have to cover my name, but these are tables that we get for the exam. Like, for example, you have certain types of statistical tables where you can read from, and these have like different numbers that you can check, blah blah, everybody knows how it works, and you get this in your exam for you to check the numbers. And I heard that some people are actually memorizing these numbers, like every single one of these, so that it will be faster in the exam. And this is impressive because I, low-key, to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to. But if I can tell, I'm like literally shocked. I don't know what to say. I don't even know if it's actually true or just a rumor because I just heard it from someone. But literally, don't do it. You literally will get 5 numbers that you will need to get to look up from the table in like different various types of tasks. And all the time that you would have put into memorizing the numbers, you can use onto actually studying and practicing the topics. And you can actually also learn how to look it up. It takes literally 5 seconds to look a certain type of critical value up in the tables. So I'm too shocked to say it, but please, people, don't do something like that. Please, like literally these numbers, don't, like I don't even know what to say, but literally don't. You're better than that. And yeah, but as I said, this is like an example of what I would say, or like an example of how to not over memorize everything, because literally maths is mainly not about memorizing. It is about practicing and knowing how to calculate certain things and knowing how to use certain knowledge. So this is an example from my university experience that I've heard about that has really shocked me. But if you ever get tables, just use the tables. Don't memorize the numbers in the pay tables. It's honestly so impressive because I'd never be able to do it, but this is so unnecessarily time consuming. So yeah, please don't do that. And also make 8 memoirs. I don't know how to say it, if I pronounced it right in English. I had to search this word up because I didn't know, but oftentimes when I can't remember the order of certain concept or the name of certain theories or something like that, it makes it way easier for me. For example, in statistics, you have 4 scales of how data can be like categorized, and they are called nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. And my friend used to call it in German naive, because in German the ratio scale, can't talk, means Verhältnisskala, and because of that she always called it naive. And whenever, or in English neuer or neuer, beautiful, but whenever I didn't know how to, I forgot the order, I always like thought back about naive or neuer, and it helped me a lot because I genuinely never in my life forgot the order of the scales again. So that is also something that can help a lot. And with maths, there are literally certain subjects where you actively have to memorize something and you actively have to get something into your head. And there are subjects where you need to practice. And math is a practice subject. Same as languages. These are subjects where you actively have to put your time and precious hours in. You can't just stand there for like an hour and memorize it and say it out loud and then it's done. With maths, you sadly actively need to practice, and oftentimes maths is about consistency. It is not about who has the best brain capacity and who manages to memorize the most information in the shortest amount of time. Maths is literally just about sitting down and practicing and making sure to get it done. And I'd advise you from all my heart to focus on the practicing instead of trying to memorize stuff, because from own experience, memorize stuff won't be asked quite often. Obviously, I'm not guaranteeing because I'm not your professor and I don't know what your exam requires. But literally, if it comes to maths, put hours and hours into practicing. This is literally the only thing that you can do. And it is the most effective thing that you can do. And it has never let me down. And it is genuinely so good. And I'll always I'll pray on it. It's like genuinely amazing. And also, don't try everything at once. Try, if for example, if it's maths with different topics, like for example statistics has loads of different categories within it, don't try to start right away with exams, or because some universities also have practice exams where you just get some certain, like where the universities publish the exams that were in the years before. And obviously these are really helpful. These are the closest that will get to the actual exam. And I advise you to do these more than anything else. But don't get started into them straight away. Like I feel like if I get started into everything and I expect myself to understand the entire topic of statistics, I'll be overwhelmed, I'll be burnt out, I feel like nothing works. So whatever I do is I structure it. I'm saying, for example, okay, first I'm doing descriptive statistics, then I'm doing t-value, then I'm doing correlations, then I'm doing ANOVA, then regression, and so far and so far. And then I often don't take days. Like for some people it really helps to be like, okay, I take 1 day or 2 days for this subject, then 2 days for this subject, and so on and so on. For me, I just give myself the time I need. I prefer to start early so that I don't get stressed out, but whatever works for you, works for you. But I prefer to do it quite chronologically, topic by topic, also in the order of the topic that my professor taught it to me, because maths builds up on each other. The things that you'll see in the first lecture will also be present in the last lecture. I can guarantee you, and there is a reason why lectures have a certain type of order. So make sure to kind of keep that in mind and to structure it topic by topic, otherwise you'll literally be overwhelmed. But when it comes to practice exams, these are literally the best thing. This is like literally the best thing that you can ever do. Just tasks in general, like literally with maths, do every task that you can find. Literally, this is the most effective thing. It's like, it saved my entire school career and everything. So this is literally the best advice that I can give you when it comes to maths, to actually put like time and dedication to it and do as much of like practice tasks as you can do. Then also change the environment. This is also really important because, as I said, in maths you often don't have to memorize anything, you just have to know how it is done. So your brain works best when environments often change, and also environment, like a change of environment, can release loads of dopamine, which can make you feel good about yourself. It gives you more energy, it makes you more motivated. So for me it helps a lot to like switch environments a lot. Also maybe to go into like some coffee shops and reward myself with a coffee, because I'm a student. Coffee in a coffee shop is expensive. I don't have 6 euros every single day, but just to sit down and kind of romanticize it and to change the environment a lot really helps me, because it keeps me productive and it makes me get things done that I normally wouldn't have gotten done. So it is really good. And also, if you constantly study at home, you'll perform best at home if you actually do the exam. But you won't do the exam at home. You probably will do it at university or in school in the certain exam room. So what I advise you is to get as close to the exam room as you can. Like, for example, we are really, really big. Like, we're loads of people studying psychology. So I always know that we'll get the biggest exam room at university. But if you don't know, just try to go into like different rooms in the library or of university as much as you can and try to get the feeling of this actual room. And then you'll be used to it, and you'll be used to doing maths in this certain type of room. So it helps me a lot to calm down, at least, because if this is already kind of familiar to me, I won't be freaking out and I won't be overwhelmed by the environment. And also make sure to get like exam simulations. In psychology, it's like really grade oriented in Germany. Like, you don't need to pass, you need to pass with a straight A, you need to pass with 100%, and everything else is not good enough, which is literally so stupid and so anti-psychological, and I'm so much against it. But that is the reason why everyone feels the pressure, and everyone that is studying with you wants to get good grades as well. So for me, it is really easy to find some friends and to gather them and to do an exam simulation with them. Like, for example, what we did, one of my friends, she designed a practice exam and we set a timer for 1.5 hours and we did the exam, and afterwards we compared the results, and this was super effective because you realize that you can actually get it done in the time, and if not, you know where to improve. And then afterwards with your friends you can discuss the answers and everybody learns from it, and it's like a win-win situation for everyone. So literally sitting down in a group and making different exam simulations, maybe with even old university exams, is literally the best thing that you can do. It is genuinely amazing. So I advise you to do that every time, every day. It is mwah. So that is also really, really effective for me personally. And also what I do a lot, I don't know if you study a just math subject, but I feel like if you would just study a just math subject, you wouldn't be clicking on this video, because this video is dedicated to all of those that literally struggle with maths. But for me, I had one mathematical exam, I had statistics, but I also had to take human development as an exam. And human development was a lot of information. Like, literally, it got shortened down into one semester with the lectures of 2. Like, my professor, he always put the stuff that he was meant to teach in 2 lectures into 1 lecture, but we still had to know everything, and it was like so much to know and so much to study, so much to get into your head in such a short amount of time. And so this was a subject where you actively had to memorize, and maths is a subject where you actively have to practice. So for me, it works really amazing to put these together, because whenever I get tired from calculating, I get into memorizing, and whenever I get tired from memorizing, I get into calculating, and that is how I be super productive and get like loads of hours done. And just in general, even if you don't have to do a math subject or whatever, for me, it literally always works best to combine subjects that are really different from each other, because it makes me cool down and it makes me get way more hours of work done than I normally would. So this is also really amazing if you get tired of maths, if you have something to pair it with. This really helps me as well. And the last thing, it probably isn't an advice, or to be honest, this may be helping you or may do the opposite. For me, it helps me, but let me know what it does for you. But literally the subjects or the stuff, the mathematical stuff that you need to study now, at least for me, you won't need tomorrow. Like, literally, we in statistics, we need to calculate effect sizes, we need to calculate some sort of ANOVAs, regression, linear and multilinear, and correlations. And the thing is, this can be easily done by a program in like 5 seconds. Literally, you just need to type a code in and it will calculate you everything. It will put it into tables. It will graphically illustrate it for you. Literally, no, I don't know any person that actually calculates any data by hand, because actual conductive data, you won't have 10 participants, you will have 500 participants. And imagine typing these 500 numbers and 500 results into a calculator, you'll go crash out and you'll accidentally type a divide instead of a plus or whatever, or you accidentally mess a number up or whatever, and then your entire result is wrong and then you have to start over again. This is like so inefficient and no one actually does it. So now in psychology we have programs like RStudio or G-Power. We literally, it is good to know, and obviously you have to learn it to know it. And I do believe that it is important to know how to calculate and how it is done. But literally, oftentimes you're just doing it for your moment so that the professors know, oh my god, yeah, you have some knowledge in maths, amazing. But oftentimes you literally won't need it again. As I said, I didn't need my mathematical knowledge again, sadly. But yeah, this maybe be helping you or maybe not. And this was all my knowledge. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you. And yeah, let me know if it worked. Let me know if any of my tricks actually helped you. And if not, then also let me know that, because that can make me improve. And I love you guys. Bye bye. Oh my god, my statistic grades got released in the morning and I planned to upload this video today and it is way past my deadline. But I told you that if the results come out today or before I plan to upload the video, I'ma tell you. And they luckily just came out today in the morning and I've got a 1.7. It means 1,7 in German, if it helps you more to understand. I don't know what this would mean in other countries or what the equivalent of this grade would be, but I am literally happy. I expected myself to do a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie, but I literally put like so much work in and this is literally the best that I can do, and I'm happy with myself. I'm happy, but as I said, I told you to update you, so I uploaded you, and yeah.